So I wanted to make something inspired by this particular Call of Duty mission. First off, I create a new project. I start off by creating a movement system. It actually turns out really good, for once. It wouldn't be a Call of Duty game if it didn't have any guns. So I started making guns. Yeah, guns. These are just blocks, kind of stretched around, but if blocks can shoot, they're guns. Alright? Next up was AI, and right, so I made some dumbass beans over here that try to avoid each other. And I mean, they do a good job avoiding, but they do the wiggling for don't know why. They just wiggle a bunch. There's no intelligence in the eye here, but there's no but, they just suck. Why have my beans fallen off? I added the possibility to kill them because it's funny. It was time to make a proper gun, so I made the shotgun from the COD mission. Does this look like a bean to you? No? That's why I started to make some actual enemies, because beans won't cut it. After this stress test, I noticed my object puller was kinda bugged, because the bullets were just teleporting backwards without reaching anything. So I fixed it. Now it works very well. I added a machete because it's cool and it's also in the COD mission. Mainly because it's in the COD mission, and that's why I added them. Anyway, I made enemies look at their target. Works amazing. I also tried making the enemies reactive physics, making them active ragdolls, but I mean, look at this guy. He looks kind of fine, and then you just like then you wouldn't say it's pretty good. I mean, you would say it's pretty good, you know, like blah, 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 blah. Then I would just like boom, he just falls apart like a. I also added an AK to my game because having just one gun kinda sucked. It took a while to animate this reload, but the thing is pretty cool. Look at how the mag just flies out while it's being kicked by the other mag. It turned out great, okay? Just what I'm trying to say is, I worked for freaking 2 entire hours on just one animation. Yes, I like it. So, with all the mechanics, all that's left is to make a level. That's the hardest part, the most time consuming, the most difficult part. So, I started with what's called gray boxing. Basically, I used gray boxes to build the environment before adding any detail. Or well, orange boxes, you know. After a couple of days, I was done gray boxing, and I started placing the enemies around the map. That didn't take long. I added some triggers to spawn some enemies and make them run towards you. Overall, this was probably the easiest part. But what comes after that? Detail. At first, I was going to use some assets I downloaded of the asset store, but they did not fit the gray box at all. So for inspiration, I booted up Counter-Strike 1.6. After this massive revelation, adding detail consisted of just adding some textures to my boxed out environment. Whilst messing with the movement code, I did something. This was pretty cool, okay? Alright, so after a bit of messing around, it was time to actually finish the map. Alright, so I just placed this many light bulbs manually, by the way. Alright, so the map was finished. It was a little dark perhaps, but overall pretty cool. One thing I kind of forgot were the death sounds of the enemies. So... After adding a menu and a harder level, I exported the game and it's 400 megabytes and it takes like 5 minutes to complete the game. So I decided to delete some light map textures to reduce the size. It went a little different than I thought it would. But in the end, I cut the weight in half. And that's that. You can play the game for free, link in the description. I think I kind of failed at remaking the card mission, but at least I learned quite a lot. So, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more game development content.